The day my family chose my cousin over my future started like any other Thursday. I was sitting at our worn kitchen table, acceptance letter in hand, heart racing with possibilities. Harvard. The word still tasted like magic on my tongue. "We need to talk, Jackie." Mum's voice carried that weight I'd learned to dread. Dad stood behind her, shoulders slumped, avoiding my eyes. "My name is Jacqueline, and this is the story of how my own family stole my dreams, and how I fought like hell to get them back. Aidan needs the money," Mom continued, her hands nervously twisting her wedding ring. "His business plan is solid. He'll double the investment within a year." I stared at them, uncomprehending. "What money?" "Your college fund," Dad mumbled, still not meeting my gaze. "All the overtime I worked, the extra shifts your mum took at the hospital. Aidan has a real opportunity here." The room started spinning. 4 years of watching my parents sacrifice everything, of working part-time jobs myself, of maintaining perfect grades, all of it crumbling before my eyes. "You're joking," I whispered. "Please tell me you're joking." "Jackie, be reasonable," Mom pleaded. "Aidan has an MBA. He knows what he's doing. This investment will benefit the whole family." I slammed my hands on the table, making them both jump. "I worked my ass off for this. I got into Harvard. Do you know how many people would kill for this opportunity?" "Language," Mom scolded reflexively. "Language? That's what you're worried about." I laughed, but it came out more like a sob. What about my future? The doorbell rang, and my stomach dropped. I knew who it was before Mom hurried to answer it. "There's my favourite cousin," Aidan's smooth voice carried from the entryway. He appeared in the kitchen doorway, all designer clothes and practiced charm. "Jackie, you're looking stressed. Harvard decisions got you down." I wanted to punch the smirk off his face. "They accepted me." "Did they? Congratulations." He moved to hug me, but I stepped back. "Though honestly, with the current market, you might be better off investing in something more substantial." "Like your mystery business plan," I spat. "It's not a mystery." He pulled out a sleek tablet, sliding it across the table. "I've got everything mapped out. Tech startup, guaranteed government contracts, exponential growth potential." "Show me the contracts." "They're still in negotiation, but my contacts..." "Your contacts?" I turned to my parents. "Are you hearing this? He has nothing." "Jacqueline," Dad finally spoke up. "Aidan has experience. He's family." "And I'm not?" My voice cracked. "Everything you saved, my future, you're just giving it away?" "Investing it," Aidan corrected smoothly. "I'll have returns within 12 months. You can start Harvard next year, debt-free." I grabbed my acceptance letter and backed away from them all. "You know what? Keep the money, but don't expect me to forgive any of you when this falls apart." "Jackie," Mom reached for me. "My name is Jacqueline." I turned and ran upstairs, slamming my bedroom door. Through my tears, I pulled out my phone and started searching for jobs. Restaurant server, retail, tutoring, anything and everything. My hands shook as I filled out application after application. A soft knock came at my door. "Honey," Dad's voice, "can we talk?" "About how you're throwing away everything we worked for." "Sure, let's talk." He opened the door slowly, looking older than I'd ever seen him. "I know you're angry." Angry doesn't begin to cover it. "But family has to stick together. Aidan needs this chance." I looked at him, really looked at him. "And what about my chance, Dad? What about everything you and Mom sacrificed for years? Was that all for Aidan too?" He sat heavily on my bed. "We can take out loans. There are other ways." "You're right," I cut him off, turning back to my phone. "There are other ways. And I'm going to find them. Without any of you. Jackie, please leave." After he left, I stared at my reflection in the window. Tears streaked my face, but beneath them something harder was forming, something determined. My phone buzzed with a text from my best friend, Mia. "Parents told me what happened. Coming over with ice cream and job listings. We'll figure this out." I took a deep breath, straightened my shoulders, and replied, Bring your laptop too. We're not just figuring this out. We're going to make Aidan wish he'd never heard of Harvard. The acceptance letter still lay on my desk, Harvard's crimson logo gleaming like a promise. Or maybe a warning. Either way, I wasn't giving up. Not on my dreams and definitely not on justice. They wanted to talk about family. Fine, I'd show them exactly what family loyalty got you in return. 3 months into my new life, and I was running on coffee and spite. The morning shift at the diner blurred into afternoon tutoring sessions, followed by evening work at the library. Sleep had become a luxury I couldn't afford. "Order up!" Tommy, our cook, called out. I balanced 4 plates along my arms, muscle memory taking over as I delivered breakfast to my regulars. "You look dead on your feet, honey," Mrs. Peterson said, accepting her usual omelette. "Still working those 3 jobs?" 4, actually. Picked up weekend bookkeeping for the auto shop down the street. 4 jobs and online classes. You'll burn out. I managed a tired smile. Can't burn out if you never slow down. My phone buzzed. Mum's 3rd attempt to call this week. I ignored it, just like the others. The diner's bell chimed as Mia walked in, right on schedule for our daily strategy session. "Guess who just got intel from their cousin who works at First National?" Mia announced, sliding into her usual booth. "Let me finish this round first." I delivered the remaining plates and grabbed my break card. 15 minutes, Tommy. Joining Mia, I pulled out my worn notebook. 3 months of research, leads, and dead ends. "What have you got?" Aidan's been moving money between accounts, multiple transfers, all just under $10,000. "Structuring," I said, writing it down. "That's illegal." "Exactly. And get this, none of it's going to any tech startup. Unless Lucky Stars Casino is a tech company now." My hand tightened around my pen. "He's gambling with my college fund." "Among other things, designer clothes, luxury car payments, weekend trips to Vegas." The bell chimed again. I looked up to see my mum walking in, and my stomach dropped. "Jackie, please don't run," she said, approaching our booth. "I just want to talk." "I'm working." "You're on break," Tommy called out helpfully. Traitor. Mum slid in next to Mia, who gave me a supportive look but didn't move. "You've missed 3 Sunday dinners," Mum said. "Your father's worried sick." "Is he? Or is he worried Aidan won't pay back the money?" Her face fell. "About that, he's been missing meetings, not answering calls." "Shocking," I deadpanned. "The con man isn't following through. Don't call him that. He's family." "Family doesn't steal from family, Mom." I pulled out my phone, showing her my bank app. "See this? 23,847. That's what I've saved in 3 months. Working 4 jobs, taking online classes, barely sleeping. Because my family decided some smooth-talking cousin was more important than their daughter's future. We thought..." "You thought wrong." I stood up. "Now, if you'll excuse me, my break's over." "Actually," Mia interjected, "we have that appointment to get to." Mum looked between us suspiciously. "What appointment?" "Doctor's appointment," I lied smoothly. "Can't miss it." After a quick word with Tommy, we escaped to Mia's car. She drove us to our real destination, the office of Van Brown, family lawyer. "You're sure about this?" Mia asked as we parked. "He's gambling away my future. I'm done playing nice." Van's office smelled like leather and authority. He listened without interrupting as I laid out everything we'd discovered. "Structuring, gambling, fraud," he said finally. "You've done your homework. I want it all back, with interest." "It won't be easy. Family cases rarely are." "I'm not leaving Harvard to chance," I said firmly. "Whatever it takes." Van leaned forward. "There's an investigator I know, Ivy. She specialises in financial fraud. But once we start this, there's no going back. Your family relationships were destroyed the moment they chose him over me." My phone rang. Dad this time. Before I could silence it, Van held up his hand. "Answer it. On speaker." Hesitating, I accepted the call. "Jackie?" Dad's voice was strained. "Have you heard from Aidan?" "No. Why?" He was supposed to make the first payment last week. We can't reach him. I met Van's eyes. He nodded encouragingly. Really? The guy who convinced you to give him my entire college fund isn't answering calls? I'm shocked. Jackie, please, we made a mistake. Yes, you did. And now you're all going to learn exactly how big that mistake was. I hung up, hands shaking but voice steady as I turned to Van. Call your investigator. I want everything. Bank records, casino trips, every lie he's told. And when we have it all, we'll bury him, Mia finished. Van started writing in his legal pad. I'll contact Ivy today, but remember, revenge might feel good, but justice feels better. Why not both? I smiled, thinking of Aidan's smug face. I've learned from the best about playing the long game. The weight of my exhaustion lifted slightly, replaced by something more energizing. Purpose. Aidan thought he'd won, but he was about to learn what happened when you underestimated the wrong cousin. Sunday dinner was Mom's latest attempt at family reconciliation. The tension around our dining room table could have powered a small city. The pot roast is delicious, Riley, Aidan said, cutting into his meat. His designer watch caught the light, probably bought with my money. Jackie helped make it, Mom beamed, trying too hard. Remember how you two used to cook together as kids? Remember how he used to steal my allowance? I muttered, stabbing a potato. Dad cleared his throat. Aidan, about the investment. Slight delay with the contracts, Aidan smoothly interrupted. Government bureaucracy, you know how it is. But we're on track for next quarter. Next quarter? I set down my fork. Funny, that's not what Lucky Stars Casino says. The clatter of silverware stopping was deafening. Aidan's smile flickered for just a second. I don't know what you're talking about. No? Should we call the casino? I'm sure they remember their high roller from last month. Jackie, Mom warned. What's she talking about? Dad asked, looking between us. Aidan laughed, but I caught the nervous edge. Just business meetings, Uncle Wade. You know how it is? Sometimes you have to entertain clients. With my daughter's college fund? Dad, don't act concerned now, I said. You handed him everything without even checking his story. I trusted family, Dad shot back. And how's that working out? Aidan stood abruptly. I should go. Clearly, Jackie's determined to cause problems. Sit down, Dad commanded, his voice harder than I'd ever heard it. Explain about these casino visits. This is ridiculous. I don't have to defend my business practices to a teenager. I'm not a teenager, I said, pulling out my phone. I'm your worst nightmare. Want to see your bank statements, the ones showing transfers just under 10 grand. That's called structuring, cousin. It's illegal. The colour drained from his face. You've been investigating me? Someone had to. Mum started crying. Please, let's not fight. We're family. Family? I laughed. Let me tell you about family. While he's been gambling away my future, I've been working 4 jobs. My hands are cracked from washing dishes. I haven't had more than 5 hours of sleep in months. Meanwhile, he's buying Rolex watches and taking weekend trips to Vegas. Those trips were for business, Aidan protested. Really? Should we call Candy from the Bellagio? She seemed very friendly in those photos. Aidan's face went from white to red. You're bluffing. Try me. He grabbed his jacket. I don't have to listen to this. Uncle Wade, Aunt Riley, I'll call you tomorrow. Don't bother, Dad said quietly. Just tell us where the money is. The investment is solid. Stop lying. I slammed my hands on the table. It's over, Aidan. We know everything. He backed toward the door. You don't know anything, and you can't prove anything. After he fled, silence descended. Mum's quiet sobs were the only sound. How long have you known? Dad finally asked. Long enough to build a case. I stood up, gathering my things. Van's handling the legal side. Ivy's tracking the money. Van, our family lawyer? Mom looked betrayed. Someone had to be on my side. Dad buried his face in his hands. We should have listened to you. Yes, you should have. I headed for the door, then paused. Check Dad's office filing cabinet, bottom drawer behind the tax returns. There's something you need to see. What are you talking about? Dad looked confused. The loan documents Aidan had you sign. Look at your signatures carefully, both of you. Understanding dawned on their faces. Mom rushed to Dad's office, returning moments later with trembling hands holding papers. Wade, these aren't our signatures. No, I confirmed. They're forgeries. Good ones, but not good enough. Ivy found the real documents in Aidan's apartment. He never had government contracts, never had a business plan, just a gambling addiction and a family stupid enough to trust him. We weren't stupid, Mom protested weakly. We were trying to help family. And now you can help by pressing charges. I opened the front door. Van's expecting your call tomorrow morning. Don't disappoint me again. Jackie, wait, Dad called out. Where are you going? To work. Some of us actually earn our money. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed with a text from Mia. Ivy found something big. Meeting tomorrow at Van's office. I smiled, thinking of Aidan's panicked face. He thought he was so clever, playing the charming cousin routine. But he never saw me coming. The quiet one, the reliable one, the one who learned to wait and watch and gather evidence. Tomorrow would change everything. And this time, family loyalty wouldn't save him. He's done this before, Ivy announced, spreading documents across Van's conference table. Her sharp eyes gleamed behind designer glasses. 3 times, to be exact. Other families? Mia asked, leaning forward. Other cousins, different states, different names, but same pattern. Ivy tapped a photo of Aidan in a suit, looking younger. He finds relatives with college funds or retirement savings, convinces them to invest in his sure thing, then disappears when the money's gone. I felt sick. Why wasn't he caught? Family shame. Nobody wanted to admit they'd been conned by their own blood. Ivy smiled grimly. Until now, Van adjusted his reading glasses. We've got enough for criminal charges. The forgeries alone. The office door burst open. Aidan stormed in, face red with rage. You little snake, he snarled at me. You think you can ruin me? Mia stepped between us. Security's on their way. I'm family. I have every right to be here. He turned to Van. Whatever she's told you, it's lies. Like your business plan? I stood, matching his glare. Or your government contracts. You ungrateful brat. I gave you an opportunity. To what? Fund your gambling addiction? His hand shot out, grabbing my arm. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Let go of her. Ivy's voice cut like steel. Or the assault charges will be extra. Security arrived, 2 burly men in uniforms. Aidan released me, straightening his jacket. This isn't over, he threatened. Actually, Van said, it is. Your other victims are flying in tomorrow. All 3 of them. The colour drained from Aidan's face. What? Jessica from Boston, Ivy read from her file. Michael from Chicago. Sarah from Seattle. Ring any bells? You can't prove anything. The money transfers say otherwise. I rubbed my arm where he'd grabbed me. Did you really think I wouldn't fight back? Security escorted him out, his threats echoing down the hallway. You okay? Mia asked, examining my arm. I'm fine, but we need to move faster. I turned to Ivy. How soon can we file charges? Already done. Police are picking him up tonight. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I answered on speaker. Jackie, Aidan just called screaming about betrayal. What's happening? What's happening is justice, I replied. Check your email. Ivy sent everything. The forgeries, the gambling records, the other victims. Silence, then Dad's voice. Other victims? We're not the first family he's conned, just the first to fight back. Oh, God, Mum whispered. What have we done? You can make it right, Van spoke up. Press charges, testify, help us stop him from doing this again. Of course we will, Dad said firmly. Whatever you need. After the call ended, Ivy gathered her files. He'll try to run, They always do. Let him, I said. The police have his passport flagged. Smart girl. She handed me a business card. You'd make a good investigator yourself. I pocketed the card, thinking of the future I was fighting to reclaim. First, I need to get through Harvard. About that, Van interrupted. Your parents called this morning. They're taking out a second mortgage on the house. What? No, I don't want them to. They insist. And with the civil suit we're filing against Aidan, you should get most of your money back. Eventually. Mia squeezed my hand. See, everything's working out. My phone buzzed again, a text from an unknown number. You'll regret this. Family should protect family. He's threatening you, Mia peered at the message. We should tell the police. Add it to the file, Ivy said, photographing my phone. Every threat helps our case. I stared at the message, remembering Aidan's grip on my arm, the rage in his eyes. He'd always seemed so smooth, so controlled. Now the mask had cracked, revealing something darker underneath. Be careful, Van warned. Men like him are most dangerous when cornered. I'm not afraid of him. You should be, Ivy said quietly. But that's why we're here. You're not fighting alone anymore. Walking to my car later, I spotted a familiar luxury sedan parked across the street. Aidan sat behind the wheel watching. I met his gaze steadily, refusing to flinch. Mia appeared beside me. Want me to stay over tonight? No, I'll be fine. I unlocked my car, then paused. Actually, yes, we can go over the testimony for tomorrow. As we drove away, I watched Aidan's car shrink in my rearview mirror. He thought he could intimidate me into silence, but he'd forgotten something crucial. I had nothing left to lose. He'd taken my trust, my money, my family's faith. But he couldn't take my determination. And tomorrow he'd learn exactly how expensive that mistake would be. The courthouse corridor buzzed with tension. Jessica from Boston sat beside me, her hands twisting a tissue. Michael from Chicago paced by the window. Sarah from Seattle hadn't stopped crying since she arrived. All this time, Jessica whispered, I thought I was the only one stupid enough to fall for it. We're not stupid, I said firmly. We're family who trusted family. He's the only one who should be ashamed. The doors burst open. Aidan walked in with his lawyer still wearing that expensive watch. Our eyes met, and he had the audacity to wink. Don't let him get to you, Mia murmured beside me. Ivy rushed over, her heels clicking on the marble floor. There's a problem. The casino records, they're gone. What? My stomach dropped. How? Someone accessed the system last night, deleted everything. He can't do that, Michael interrupted. Can he? He has connections, Sarah sniffled. That's how he always gets away with it. Van emerged from the courtroom, his face grim. They're ready for us. Inside, my parents sat in the front row. Mom reached for my hand as I passed, but I kept walking. The betrayal was still too fresh. Aidan's lawyer spoke first. Your Honour, this is a simple family misunderstanding. My client had verbal agreements. Objection, Van stood. We have written documents forged by the defendant. Allegedly forged, Aidan's lawyer countered. And where are these documents? Van produced the files. Right here, along with expert testimony confirming the forgery. And the alleged gambling? The lawyer smiled. Where's the proof of that? The casino records, Ivy started. What casino records? We see no evidence of any gambling. I felt the case slipping away. Months of work disappearing because Aidan had connections in the right places. Permission to approach? Van asked the judge. While they conferred, I noticed Aidan texting under the table, smirking. Something clicked in my mind. Mia, I whispered urgently. The photos, from your cousin at the bank. Her eyes widened. She dug through her bag, pulling out her phone. Your Honour, I stood suddenly. I have evidence. Sit down, Aidan's lawyer snapped. Let her speak, the judge said. My hands shook as I walked forward. These are photos of bank statements taken 3 months ago. They show structured deposits to avoid detection. And this, I swiped to another photo, is Aidan at Lucky Stars Casino, dated 2 weeks ago. Objection! Those could be doctored. The metadata's intact, Ivy interrupted, examining the photos. These are original, unaltered images. Aidan's smirk vanished. He whispered frantically to his lawyer. Furthermore, I continued, I'd like to call Jessica, Michael, and Sarah to testify about their experiences. One by one, they told their stories. The same pattern, the same lies, the same betrayal. Aidan's face grew darker with each testimony. Your Honour, his lawyer tried again, these allegations are supported by evidence, the judge cut in, and given the pattern of behaviour, Aidan stood abruptly. This is ridiculous. They're just jealous of my success. What success? I challenged. The fake business, the gambling debts, the stolen futures? You ungrateful little... He lunged forward, but bailiffs grabbed him. Order! The judge banged her gavel. Mr. McCormick, control yourself or I'll have you removed. My parents watched in horror as their beloved nephew was restrained. His mask finally shattered completely. I did everything for this family, he shouted. I was going to make us rich. You were going to make yourself rich, I corrected. We were just convenient piggy banks. The judge had heard enough. Given the evidence and the defendant's behaviour, I'm ordering a full investigation. Mr. McCormick will surrender his passport and remain in custody pending criminal charges. As the bailiffs led him away, Aidan locked eyes with me one last time. You'll regret this, he spat. Families should stick together. We are sticking together, Jessica said, standing beside me. All of us, against you. Outside the courtroom, my parents approached hesitantly. Jackie, Mom started, we're so sorry. We should have believed you. Yes, you should have, I turned to Van. What happens now? Criminal trial comes next, with 4 victims testifying and this evidence. He's looking at serious time. Ivy touched my arm. That offer to train as an investigator, it still stands. You've got good instincts. I looked at my parents, at the other victims now hugging and crying together, at Mia who'd stood by me through everything. First, I said, I'm going to Harvard. Then we'll talk about catching more guys like Aidan. Speaking of Harvard, Dad pulled out an envelope. The new loan papers. Everything's approved. I took the envelope but didn't open it. Some trust would take longer to rebuild than others. Come on. Mia linked her arm through mine. Let's get coffee. You look like you need it. Walking away, I heard Mom call out, Sunday dinner? I paused, then nodded slightly. Maybe. We'll see. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a start. He made bail. Ivy's voice crackled through my phone as I stacked dishes at the diner. Some anonymous benefactor posted it this morning. My hands froze mid-wipe. How? I thought the judge... Money talks, and Aidan's got friends we don't know about. The bell above the door chimed. I looked up to see Mia rushing in, face flushed. Have you heard? Just now. I tossed my apron on the counter. Tommy, I need to... Go! He waved me off. But be careful, kid. Outside, Mia grabbed my arm. There's more. Your mom called me. Someone broke into your parents' house last night. What? Are they okay? They're fine. They were at work. But their home office was ransacked. Your dad's files are gone. My blood ran cold. The original loan documents, the ones proving forgery, they'd been in those files. Van's copies, already secured in his safe, Mia assured me. But, Jackie, there was a note. She handed me a crumpled paper. The handwriting was familiar. Family secrets should stay in the family. My phone buzzed again. Van this time. Get to my office, now. 20 minutes later, we sat in Van's conference room. Ivy paced while Van spread crime scene photos across the table. This wasn't just about the documents, Ivy said. It's intimidation. He's sending a message. The graduation ceremony is tomorrow, Mia added. He knows you're planning to expose everything in your speech. Van leaned forward. Maybe we should reconsider. No. I stood up. I'm not letting him win. Not again. Jackie, he's desperate. Desperate people are dangerous, I know. I picked up the threatening note. But so am I. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Check your email. Heart pounding, I opened my inbox. The video started playing automatically. Footage of me and Mia breaking into Aidan's apartment 3 months ago, gathering evidence. That's illegal entry, Van muttered. Another text. Drop the charges or this goes to the police. Family protecting family, remember? He's bluffing, Mia said. He can't go to the police without admitting why we were there. But he can use it to discredit you, Ivy pointed out. Make you look like the criminal. The diner's bell chimed in my memory, that moment when everything changed. I pulled out my phone. What are you doing? Mia asked. Fighting fire with fire. I dialed Aidan's number. He answered on the first ring. Finally ready to be reasonable. Meet me, tonight. Just us. Why should I? Because I have something you want, something worth more than those surveillance videos. A pause. Where? The diner. Midnight. Come alone. After hanging up, 3 voices started protesting at once. Are you insane? He could be dangerous. This is a terrible idea. Trust me, I said. And Ivy. Bring your camera. Midnight turned the diner into a film noir set. I sat in my usual booth, coffee growing cold, watching the door. Aidan walked in exactly on time, looking expensive even in casual clothes. This better be good. Sit down, cousin. He slid into the booth. Where is it? First, let's talk about family. I pushed my coffee aside. You like that word. Use it like a weapon. Skip the lecture. What do you have? Proof that you're working with someone inside the casino? Someone who deleted those records for you. His smile faltered. You're bluffing. Am I? Check your email. He pulled out his phone. His face went white as he opened the attachment. That's you, I continued, meeting with the casino's IT manager last week, right before the records vanished. Interesting timing. Where did you... I learned from the best. Family secrets, right? What do you want? Drop the threats. Let justice happen. Or these photos go to the FBI's gambling commission. He leaned forward, voice low. You think you're so clever, but you have no idea what you're dealing with. Actually, I do. I stood up. By the way, smile for Ivy. Camera flashes burst from the kitchen window. Aidan jumped up, but Mia was already blocking the door. Van emerged from the back, recording everything. Threatening a witness, he said calmly. That's another charge to add to the list. Aidan's face contorted. You set me up. Family protecting family, I echoed his words. Except this time, I'm protecting everyone from you. As police sirens wailed in the distance, I gathered my things. See you at graduation, cousin. I've got quite a speech planned. His handcuffs clinked as they led him out, but his threat followed me into the night. This isn't over. No, I whispered, watching the patrol car disappear, but it will be soon. The graduation auditorium hummed with anticipation. I adjusted my cap, the valedictorian's medal heavy around my neck. Through the stage curtain I could see my parents in the front row, Jessica, Michael and Sarah beside them. Ivy and Van sat further back, scanning the crowd. He won't show, Mia whispered, fixing my gown. He can't. It's a violation of his bail conditions. He'll show. I checked my phone. No messages since last night's threat. Hope you're ready for your big moment. The principal stepped up to the microphone. Welcome, families and graduates. My speech cards felt damp in my sweating hands. This wasn't just a graduation speech, it was a reckoning. Movement at the back door caught my eye. Aidan slipped in, wearing sunglasses indoors like the cliché he was. Our eyes met across the room, and he smiled. And now, the principal continued, our valedictorian, who achieved exceptional academic excellence while working multiple jobs. I walked to the podium, heart thundering. The bright lights made it hard to see the audience, but I could feel Aidan's presence like a shadow. When I was young, I began. My parents taught me that family means everything, that we sacrifice for each other, support each other, trust each other. My mum wiped her eyes. Dad squeezed her hand. But sometimes, I continued, the hardest lessons come from family itself. Sometimes trust becomes a weapon, and sacrifice becomes surrender. Movement in my peripheral vision. Aidan standing, moving toward the side aisle. 3 months ago, I lost my college fund to someone I trusted, someone who used family bonds to steal not just from me, but from others across the country. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Aidan reached inside his jacket. But today isn't about loss. I gripped the podium harder. It's about justice. Stop talking! Aidan's voice boomed across the auditorium. He pulled out not a weapon, but a stack of papers. I have proof she broke into my home. She's the criminal. Security moved toward him, but he dodged them, waving the papers. She's lying. It's all lies. Is it? I projected my voice over the chaos. Tell them about Jessica from Boston, Aidan. Tell them about Michael and Sarah. They trusted me with investments. They trusted family, I corrected. Just like my parents did. Just like I did. He rushed toward the stage. Van stood up, blocking his path. That's far enough. You don't understand, Aidan pleaded to the crowd. I was going to pay it all back. The casino deals, they were guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed, Ivy's voice cut through as she stood, badge glinting, was that you'd keep stealing until someone stopped you. Police officers emerged from the side doors. Aidan saw them and bolted. Always running, I said into the microphone. But you can't outrun the truth. They caught him at the exit. As they led him away, he shouted, You're not family anymore. You're nothing. No, I called after him. I'm valedictorian, and you're under arrest. The auditorium erupted in applause. My classmates stood, then their parents, then everyone. Through tears, I saw Jessica, Michael, and Sarah hugging each other. My parents stared at me with a mixture of pride and regret. As I was saying, I continued once the noise died down, today isn't about loss. It's about victory, not just mine, but everyone who's ever been betrayed by someone they trusted. I pulled out my Harvard acceptance letter. This fall, I'm going to Harvard, not because of family money, but because I worked for it, because when everything was taken from me, I didn't give up. Mia beamed from the side stage. Van nodded approvingly. To my fellow graduates, remember this: trust is precious, but justice is priceless. And sometimes the hardest battles aren't against enemies, but against those we love. After the ceremony, my parents approached cautiously. That was brave, Mom said softly. That was necessary, I replied. Dad held out an envelope. Your graduation present. It's not much, but inside was a cheque. Their entire savings. I can't take this. Yes, you can. Dad's voice cracked. We failed you once. Never again. Ivy appeared beside us. Actually, with Aidan's assets frozen and the civil suit proceeding, she might not need it. Keep it, I handed the cheque back. Start over. Build something honest. Mom pulled me into a hug. This time I let her. Harvard won't know what hit them, Mia said, joining us. I touched my valedictorian medal, thinking of Aidan's face as they led him away. He thought family was a weakness to exploit. He never understood it was a strength to protect. Ready to go? Mia asked. I looked at my parents, at my support system, at the future stretching ahead. More than ready. It's time for a new chapter. Behind us, the auditorium emptied of graduates and dreams and second chances. Ahead lay Harvard justice and the sweet taste of victory. The courthouse steps felt different this time. No fear, no uncertainty. Just the weight of justice finally being served. Guilty on all counts, Mia read from her phone as we walked out. Financial fraud, forgery, witness intimidation. Don't forget the casino conspiracy charges, Ivy added, looking satisfied. That IT manager rolled over on him beautifully. Van adjusted his tie. 8 to 12 years minimum, plus full restitution to all victims. My parents waited by the car, holding hands like they used to before everything fell apart. Mum's eyes were red from crying, but she was smiling. "Harvard called," she said. "Your scholarship package is finalised, and the restitution money will cover the rest," Dad added. "You're all set for fall." I touched the acceptance letter in my pocket, my talisman through all of this. It doesn't feel real. "Oh, it's real!" Jessica appeared with Michael and Sarah. "We all got our settlement notifications this morning. What will you do with yours?" Mia asked them. "Going back to school," Sarah said firmly. "Starting my own business." Michael smiled. "A legitimate one. Therapy," Jessica laughed. "Lots of therapy." A commotion at the courthouse doors drew our attention. Aidan emerged in handcuffs, his designer clothes replaced by prison orange. Our eyes met as they led him to the transport van. "Jackie," he called out, "we're still family. You can't just—" "Family?" I walked toward him, stopping just out of reach. "Let me tell you about family, cousin. Family is Jessica missing her mother's funeral because you stole her plane ticket money. Family is Michael losing his house. Family is Sarah having to drop out of medical school. I was going to pay it all back. No, you weren't. You were going to keep running, keep stealing, keep destroying lives. But you forgot something important." "What's that?" he sneered. "Family fights back." The van doors slammed shut on his face. As it drove away, I felt a weight lift, not just from my shoulders, but from all of us. "Your parents are watching," Mia murmured beside me. I turned to see them standing awkwardly by their car, uncertainty written across their faces. The distance between us felt both vast and paper-thin. "Go," Ivy nudged me. "Some bridges are worth rebuilding." Walking over, I saw the familiar diner across the street where everything had started, where I'd served countless plates while plotting justice, where I'd finally turned the tables on Aidan. "We're having a celebration dinner," Mum said hesitantly. "Nothing fancy, just—" "The diner," I suggested. Dad's face lit up. "You'll come?" "On one condition," I met their eyes. "No more blind trust, no more family means everything excuses. We build something real this time." "Deal," they said together. Inside, Tommy had our usual booth ready. "On the house today, kid. You earned it." Mia slid in beside me, Ivy and Van across from us. My parents took the adjacent booth with Jessica, Michael and Sarah. "To justice," Van raised his coffee cup. "To new beginnings," Mom added. "To Harvard," Mia grinned. "To family," I said quietly. "The real kind." My phone buzzed, an email from Harvard confirming my housing assignment. Next to it was a message from the investigator training program Ivy had recommended. "Still interested?" she asked, noticing my screen. "Let me get through law school first." "Law school?" Dad looked surprised. "Someone has to protect people from guys like Aidan." I stirred my coffee. "Might as well be me." The diner's bell chimed as more customers entered. Outside, life moved on. Aidan was gone, but his impact remained. In our scars, our strength, our stories. "You know what the best revenge is?" Mia asked suddenly. "What's that?" "Living well." I looked around the diner, at my parents trying so hard to make amends, at the other victims turning their pain into purpose, at my support system that never wavered. "No," I corrected her. "The best revenge is living truthfully. Everything else follows from that." Mom reached across the aisle, touching my hand. This time, I didn't pull away. "I'm proud of you," she whispered. "I know." I squeezed her hand. "I'm proud of me too." Outside, the Harvard acceptance letter crinkled in my pocket. No longer a dream deferred, but a future earned. Aidan had tried to steal my chances, but he'd given me something instead. The strength to fight back, the wisdom to see through lies, and the courage to demand justice. Sometimes family isn't what you're born into. Sometimes it's what you build from the ashes of betrayal. And sometimes, just sometimes, those bonds are stronger than blood. Tommy brought our usual orders, and the diner filled with conversation and laughter. The taste of victory, I discovered, was sweeter than revenge, and best served with people who'd earned their place at your table.